Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the UK. Shout out to Cincinnati, shout out to the UK. Got lots of love from people from those areas because a lot of people in those areas support this channel. So shout out to you guys in those cities and countries and whatnot. But the reason I mentioned those two cities is because we're going to talk about Adrien the Problem Broner, okay? And Eddie Hearn, because, this is something that I didn't get a chance to talk about. So I'm talking about it now here on True School Sport. We talk about it when we want to talk about it, when we feel like it, okay? Now, Adrien Broner, obviously someone that people talk a lot about, sells a lot of tickets, is a name here in American boxing, has built himself up quite the following, has marketed himself, maybe not in the best and most tasteful way, but he is relevant in terms of us talking about, because look what we're doing right now. We're making a video about him. So even if he does some dumb shit, guess what? He's still relevant because we're talking about him. But Adrien Broner, okay, Adrien the Problem Broner has just that, a problem. He has a problem, a mental problem, because Eddie Hearn is an ambitious fellow. Okay, Eddie Hearn announced his $1 billion partnership with the Performance Group, and he's launching DAZN. They gave him $1 billion, okay? And they're going to have special streaming and whatnot. So he's trying to sign top American names. Now, notice how I said top American names. I didn't say talents, because guess what? If we're talking about pure skill set, Adrien Broner is not a damn top American fighter. He ain't. Regardless of what Broner fans want to say out there. I don't need to get into that. His resume, if you really know his resume, you really up in your boxing, you know why I'm saying what I'm saying. He is an overglorified C-class fighter that has been getting coddled his whole career because he can sell tickets and makes the promoters' jobs easier because of his mouth, his personality, and his antics out the ring. He just knows how to draw attention to fights. I can't hate him for that, but he is known more for his antics, and he is known more for his bravado outside the ring than he is for his skills inside the ring. Now, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it true here on True School Sports. Adrien Broner just went life and death and got a gift assist and draw with Jesse Vargas, okay? With Jesse Vargas. And I'll give him credit. He looked better in the second half of that fight, but I think a draw was just, I think Vargas could have actually got the decision there, but I think a draw, you're not you're not this A-level fighter you think you are. You're not. You made, and look, I'm only going on with what's reported, so if someone says, oh, well, he made more on the back end, I don't give a shit about the back end. I'm talking about what he made, what was reported about the fighter's purse, and what Broner made. It was reported in his last fight that he got paid $1 million, right? So Eddie Hearn comes up to him. He says basically, I'll read you the quotes. Eddie Hearn says, here's what he offered. I'll read you guys what he actually offered Broner. So he says, I quote, in an email that Broner screenshotted and showed on Instagram. Here's what Hearn's offer said and looked like. He said, I quote, further to our recent conversations, you may have seen our announcement last week for our new deal for 16 shows per year in the U.S. I would be very interested to offer Adrien a 3-fight promotional deal agreement as follows. Fight number 1, September 2018, purse $2 million. Fight number 2, March 2019, purse $2.25 million. Fight number 3, September 2019, $2.5 million. This will give AB security and also a concrete schedule to work from. 3 fights in 12 months. So Adrien Broner pretty much calls it a slave deal. He then responds by saying, I'm sorry, Eddie Hearn, you a good guy and all, but you try to give me a worse deal than Rock Nation offered me. Broner added the hashtags, this shit is over. Hashtag slave deal. So let's backtrack for a second. When Broner was offered that Rock Nation deal, let's look at things in their proper context. When Rock Nation offered Broner that deal, I believe it was somewhere along the lines of 6 fights or something like that. 6 fights for $45 million. He had less losses on his record. There was a lot more gloss over Adrien Broner. And people were more willing to tolerate his bullshit. So the value he commanded was obviously a lot higher than it is now. He called that a slave deal, and he pretty much said FJZ. So this is not a new thing for Adrien Broner. My thing is this. When you're a fighter at the top world-class level, okay, there's so many hurdles that can come in front of big fights sometimes and big paydays, right? So I think as a fighter, the main thing you could ask for from your promoter, any promoter that works with you or signs you, is you want A, to be paid accordingly due to just how much you're worth, and B, you want a concrete schedule or framework or a timetable in when you're fighting so you can train accordingly, so you don't overtrain or undertrain, and you can train properly. And then that should be based on you being paid properly and you having the timetable to work through. You should be training properly, and that should keep you happy enough to keep going and going and going. That's what I think, at least. Eddie Hearn is offering Adrien Broner, I think, something that a lot of fighters would like, which is obviously money, consistent money that gradually, goes up, and guaranteed dates. That's what he's giving Adrien Broner. And Adrien Broner turns around and says that that's a slave deal? Are you kidding me? Are you snorting coke? Have you hit your head on the side of the wall? No. That's ridiculous. Adrien Broner, again, I'm referring back to what I said earlier in the video. He is an overglorified C-class fighter. He's gotten gift decision after gift decision after gift decision. Okay? If he was any other fighter in boxing, he'd be out of boxing. He'd be done at the top level, and the days of $1 million paydays would be over. To be quite honest with you, his days of $1 million paydays are almost over, pretty much, because he's made $1 million in his last fight. And this is a guy in Broner that used to command so much more than that. So, the fact that there's a guy that wanted to pay you $2 million plus every single fight for your next 3 fights, I think you should take it, because let's be real, Adrien. And if I don't know if these fighters watch my videos. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But let's be real, Adrien. You don't know if you're a welterweight, because you're not big enough to compete with the top welterweights, and you can't make 140. You can't make 140, and you're not big enough to compete with the top welterweights. So you're gonna take a loss, a very damaging loss at some point. You are. Your skills haven't improved. Your stamina. I don't want to be too hard on you. I think your stamina was actually pretty good in your last fight. You seem to get better as fight went on, so I give you credit for that. But your skills haven't improved. You slap with your punches. Your footwork is sloppy. You're still very hittable. And any B level and above fighter beats you at 147. And even definitely at 140 right now. I mean, this new crop of guys at 140. If you were ever able to make 140 and fight the likes of Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis, Jose Ramirez, guys of that nature, your career is over. Your career is done. Your career is done. It pretty much, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect fighters. Like, I respect Adrien Broner. He's giving boxing fans a lot of good fights, and I think he does a good job of people generating interest in watching his fights and getting them to tune into boxing. So whether it be for the reasons I like or not, the fact of the matter, more people watch boxing when he's fighting. So he's not entirely bad for boxing in terms of boxing getting exposure. But his career, the way he's decided to go about it, and the way promoters have decided to coddle him and put him in easy world title fights and 10-rounders and main events, it's been a piss stain on the sport. I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings out there, but it's been a piss stain on the sport. And now that you got a guy with a proven track record, with this war chest of money, who honestly, if you were able to go on there, let's say you really are what you say, what you think you are, and you really are going to, I quote, take over this boxing shit. If you really were that Adrien Broner, you would go there, you would take the 3-fight promotional deal, which would pay you in excess of $6 million plus or whatnot. You would take the deal, you would show and prove, and guess what? You would be in line for bigger fights down the road. You'd probably be in line for bigger fights, because Eddie Hearn is not going to fail. Like, he's not going to fail. He's got too much money. He's got too much of a platform behind him. He can offer fighters so many things that they can't get anywhere else. When you have that kind of exclusivity, you're just in a position of power where you can negotiate from a position of strength. And if there's one thing that Eddie Hearn knows how to do, it's set himself up and his fighters up to negotiate from positions of strength. Look what he's done with Anthony Joshua. Look what he did with, just like even Kell Brook, even Kell Brook, just all of his fighters pretty much. But I use Joshua as a main example because that's the best he's done with any fighter. Look what he's done with him. So I would trust him, man. You've been trusting Al Heyman. That's your guy. I understand, but business is business, and ultimately, it makes more sense to fight where you're going to get consistent dates. Al Heyman can give you the money. I ain't saying he's not getting you money. Maybe he is on the back end. But from what's being reported, you're not really getting that much more money than you got in the past. And on top of that, with Eddie Hearn, you're going to get consistency in terms of fight dates. And I think as a Heyman fighter, that's what you should be looking for more than anything, is consistent fight dates. and he's offered you that. So for you to say it's a slave deal, it really sounds like Adrien Broner has been hijacked by the spirit of the LDBC. He's been watching so many blood boxing videos and whatnot, calling him Plantation Hearn and whatnot. Maybe he's buying into it. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I think it's a fair deal. I think he should take it, and if not, at least if you don't want to take the $6 million, negotiate. In life you don't always get what you ask for. You get what you negotiate. So if I was Adrien Broner, my advice to you is to negotiate a number that you're comfortable with, maybe a little bit north of that. And I'm sure Hearn will work with you because there's potential there. I think an Amir Khan fight at the Barclays Center would do massive numbers, and you probably make a lot of money in the back end as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Adrien Broner calls Eddie Hearn's 3-fight promotional deal, which will net him in excess of $6 million a fight and gradually up his pay by the fights with guaranteed dates and next year, calls it a slave deal. So I want you guys to take on it in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.